Why is a second MSLT test sometimes needed? Imagine going through a sleep study and getting results that don't quite add up. Sometimes, a single test isn't enough to tell the full story about your sleepiness. That's when a second multiple sleep latency test might be recommended. The multiple sleep latency test is a key tool used to measure how quickly you fall asleep during the day and whether you enter REM sleep during naps. It helps diagnose conditions like narcolepsy and idiopathic hypersomnia. But it's not always perfect on the first try. If your initial test results are unclear or don't match your symptoms, doctors might suggest a second test. This is especially true if the first test shows inconsistent data or if your sleep patterns change. Sometimes, the first test might not have captured your typical sleep behavior. One common reason for a second test is if you didn't sleep well during the first sleep study. The test depends on you having had enough restful sleep the night before. If your sleep was interrupted or poor, the results might not be reliable. In that case, a repeat test after a better night's sleep can give clearer answers. Sleepiness can also vary from day to day. Factors like medication, stress, or health changes can make your sleepiness fluctuate. A second test helps determine if your sleepiness is persistent or just a temporary issue. Another reason is if the first test results are borderline or don't fully match your symptoms. For example, narcolepsy diagnosis requires specific findings like 2 or more sleep-onset REM periods and very short sleep latency. If your initial results are close but not quite there, a second test can provide more definitive proof. Sometimes, even technical issues can affect the results. Sensors might not work properly, or environmental distractions could interfere. If that happens, a repeat test ensures the data is accurate. In cases of sleep apnea, the MSLT isn't used to diagnose the condition itself. But if you've been treated for sleep apnea and still feel very sleepy during the day, a second MSLT can help figure out if another sleep disorder is involved. Overall, a second MSLT is about making sure your diagnosis is correct. It helps doctors understand your sleep patterns better and guides the right treatment. If your first test isn't conclusive or your condition changes, a second test can provide the clarity needed to move forward confidently.